Headphones tend to be heavily branded and extensively marketed, with paid promotions, product placements, and celebrity endorsements from some of the bigger brands. Today we're looking at headphones from Status Audio, whose slogan is "No logos, no celebrities, just sound." Let's find out if this claim holds up and if Status Audio can deliver. We have two headphones today, the open-backed Obi one and the closed-back CB one, priced at $79.99 USD, which is an excellent price for the target audience. The first thing to realize is that these headphones aren't the same, they're quite different in both design and sound. The first major difference is the closed-back design of the CB one compared to the opened-back nature of the Obi one. For those who aren't familiar, open-back design means that they're not sealed, don't isolate from outside noise, and also leak noise. The advantage is that you get greater soundstage and better positional audio, which is great for both music listening and in-game positional audio. As such, open-back headphones are more suited for studio listening and in a quiet environment, whereas closed-back headphones like the CB one are great for less controlled environments, however you don't get quite the same sound and positional audio. Now let's get the specs out of the way. The Obi one features 42mm drivers with over-ear open-back design and an impedance of 54 ohms, frequency response of 15Hz to 30kHz, and a 3m straight cable. The CB one has larger 50mm drivers with a closed-back over-ear design. It has a lower 32ohm impedance, frequency response of 15Hz to 30kHz, and dual removable cables with a 3m straight cable as well as a coiled. Build quality is the first thing to look at, and we'll start with the better built Obi one. On the ear cups you have this very tough plastic with a metallic finish, and it really feels durable and premium. Connecting the ear cups to the headband is more high quality rubberized plastic and metal in the headband. The build in the Obi one is really impressive at the price, and competes and beats not only headphones in its price range like the 280 Pro, but also more expensive headphones. The build of the CB one isn't quite as impressive. The plastic feels cheaper and lighter, and the superb metal headband is missing here, replaced with a more flimsy plastic. The build isn't bad, but it's just not at the same level as its brother. Before we get to the main claim in the sound, we'll look at usability and comfort. The Obi one unfortunately falls a little bit flat here, especially since open-backed headphones generally tend to be more comfortable. The soft earpads seem good on first impressions, but they're just not that cushiony, and I found myself longing for the velour material on my K7XXs. In addition, the clamping force was just way too strong for my preference, although hopefully that will loosen with time. The headband is padded and feels alright, but it's nothing exceptional. The Obi ones are certainly usable, and I wouldn't say it's super uncomfortable, but I wouldn't want to be using them for a long period of time. In addition to that, the cable is not only non-removable, but splits at the top, and I can't say I like that. This makes it more prone to damage and failure, and because it's non-removable, once the cable goes, so do the headphones. In this department, the CB one steps up to the plate. The earpads are very large and plush, and while they're a little odd with the oval shape, it's pretty comfortable overall. Clamping force is still present, but it's less forceful than the Obi one, making for a more comfortable design. It's still not great, and I find other closed headphones like the M50s or open-backed headphones like my K7Xs much more comfortable, but it's good enough. You also get a removable cable here, which is awesome to see. It means you can choose your cable style and also get other cable lengths, as well as if any damage comes to your cables, the headphones will still work. All of this combined with the closed design makes the CB ones the more versatile of the two headphones. But enough with the teasing, let's get into the sound. To put it simply, these sound good. Really good. In fact, at the price I would go out and say these are probably one of the best in the price range. Starting out with the CB ones, I compared these to the ATH M50Xs, my K7XXs, and the Sennheiser HD 280 Pros. Considering all of these retail for a higher price than the Status Audio set, I was really impressed with how it held up. These were way better than the 280 Pros, keeping better definition throughout the range and just being all round much more enjoyable to listen to. When I compared them to the M50X, it got a little closer though. These sounded a bit more neutral, and while the mids were a little recessed, they seemed quite flat and pretty accurate, whereas the M50X's sound seemed a bit more pleasing. Depending on the song, I actually found myself preferring the sound from the CB1s at times, with the high end being a bit more defined and clearer with more detail over the range. However, noise isolation wasn't as good. The M50X blocked outside noise much more, and while these are closed back, you're still going to hear a fair bit of the outside environment, so on public transport or in loud situations, these will struggle. For more electronic or bass focused music, I would pick the M50s over these, as they're a little too neutral with the bass being a bit lackluster. For music listening, I found myself wishing for a little bit more hit in the deeper bass, and it lacked that fullness to the sound at times. Still, if you're doing casual mixing and music listening, I think the CB1s would make an awesome pair, and considering the M50s are over double the price and the CB1 is still trading blows, it's really impressive. Moving on to the OB1s, and you still have a very impressive sound. This picks up in some of the areas that the CB1 lacks, with the bass being a bit more present and having better extension into some of the deeper bass range. You also get the added bonus of having that open back design coming in, which allows for a much wider soundstage, and I really do love having that openness to the sound. Highs are also very good like the CB1s, and over the range these sound really great. As always, audio is fairly subjective, but I've been happy listening to these over a variety of music, and I would say purely in terms of sound, I would prefer these over the CB1s. Having that open back design is also nice in game, as you have better positional audio which helps for footsteps and other sounds. So let's conclude. Both of these headphones offer some impressive value, with the best sound in this price range. I think the hardest thing about these headphones is choosing which one to pick up. Unfortunately, each one has their own unique compromises. The CB1s have that removable cable and better comfort, but you're going to have to deal with that closed back design and still not that great noise isolation. As for the OB1s, you get that wider soundstage and better build, but you lose out on that removable cable and comfort element is less friendly. We can't expect perfection at this price, but are happy to see a no-label headphone company challenging the ranks, and would say you'd be happy with either pair as long as you know what you're getting into. So thank you for watching everyone. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and comment if you have any questions or feedback. I'm Aiden with Hardware Canucks, make sure to subscribe for more similar content, and we'll see you in the next one.